So you've heard people say, just get into the state and your manifestations will come effortlessly. But what is that state? What if your mind is racing? What if your nervous system is completely dysregulated? What if you've been trying everything, but nothing's working and everything just seems so hard and out of reach? You're not doing anything wrong, and there's nothing wrong with you. You're probably just moving through one of the stages of healing that leads to effortless manifestation. Because manifestation is not about doing, it is about becoming. So I came up with 4 stages that we all move through before we get to that effortless stage. So let's talk about all those and how to know which one you are in right now. But first, I want to take a second to talk to y'all about Psychic Source, who is sponsoring this video. Psychic Source is the oldest and most trusted psychic service in the industry. Their advisors are committed to hope, healing, and empowerment through metaphysical guidance. So if you're feeling stuck in your manifestations or you just really need some advice, you can talk to a professional, gifted advisor who can help you. And you can do this however you feel the most comfortable. They have video calls, they have phone calls, and they have texting. But I really do highly suggest a phone call or a video call because you will get the most out of those minutes. By using my code, you can get 40 minutes for $19.80, which is a $240 value, and it's completely risk-free. You don't have to use those minutes all in one sitting either, so you can really split them up and find the most genuine connection to the advisor that is perfect for you. All you need to do is go to trypsychicsource.com/erincav. You can scan the QR code right here on the screen or click the link in my description or in the pinned comment below. Y'all, it is time to finally start getting your stuff. This is a great way to kick-start your journey. Stage 1 is ignorance or addiction to circumstance. So in the first stage, we are stuck in the matrix. We're stuck in the program. We believe that life is happening to us. We think that the breakup, the empty bank account, it is all just the way things are. It's basically when we're in victim mode. We're actually addicted to overthinking. We're addicted to chasing signs. We're addicted to controlling the outcome and every little step along the way. Here, we don't even realize that we're manifesting, we're just reacting. And we're letting our previous manifestations manifest for us. We're letting all of those shitty circumstances that we're experiencing manifest our future for us. And we say things like, why does this always happen to me? Why doesn't anything ever go my way? I knew that was gonna happen. But here, even in all of that discomfort, even in all of that constant disappointment, you're manifesting. This stage is not your fault, and you're not doing anything wrong, and you're not stuck. You're just unaware. It's the first stage of learning anything. You don't know what you don't know. But the moment that you even consider that you might be the creator, when you first hear about law of assumption or manifestation, or anything that tells you that you are the one controlling your reality with your mind, the moment that you start to think that that could be true, even if you don't fully believe it yet, you're awake, and that's when stage 2 begins. So stage 2 is awareness and initiation. Stage 2 is the awakening. This is where you start to see patterns and synchronicities in your manifestations. You start to realize, oh, my thoughts might actually be controlling my reality. You start binging the content, reading all the books, learning everything you can about the law. This is a fun stage. It's like your initiation into the manifestation law of assumption club. But it is also pretty overwhelming because you are constantly seeking and having more questions. You want to find all there is to know, all the information that's out there. It's just giving you even more questions that you need to ask. And you're doing all the things. You're scripting all day. You're visualizing. You're affirming all the time. And you're obsessing over, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Because you think, in this stage, you think that manifestation is a technique, and it's not. It's not scripting under the moon. It's not affirming 10,000 times. You try to force the state and you're chasing the outcome. You're chasing the desire. But this is a huge part of the process, and we all go through it. You're rewiring years and years of programming and conditioning from other people. That takes time, and that takes a lot of love and compassion for yourself. You're in the stage of remembering who you really are and what you came down here to do, and it is powerful. And then we enter the hardest stage. We enter the hard part where a lot of people want to quit, and that is stage 3, which is learning and reflection. In stage 3, you really start looking inward. This is where you start to get really real with yourself. This is where you start taking responsibility for the world, because you realize that you have created it all. And sometimes you're even looking at your circumstances and thinking, what inside me created this? I have an old notebook where I tried to go through all of this stuff. What was so wrong with me that I felt like I needed to create this circumstance? And I'm telling you, you can work through it. You can work through it, but I don't think it's necessary to try and find the very first trigger point, the first problem of why you started thinking the way you're thinking. All you need to do is just recognize that it's there and that you don't want to possess that going forward. So in this stage is when you start doing the nervous system regulation and the mirror work and getting to know yourself. And it's powerful. It's super powerful. You're starting to choose affirmations that feel good to you instead of forcing ones that your favorite YouTuber told you to say. I wrote a lot. I wrote every day. Every thought. This phase is raw and you will cry. You will cry a lot. And there will come a time where you are going to be forced to say goodbye to your old self. And you'll feel like you're in between identities, because that's exactly what's happening. You're saying goodbye to these old versions of you, and you're saying hello and birthing these new identities. We're saying goodbye to all those versions of us where we felt powerless and trying to anchor ourselves in our power. And sometimes it becomes almost so much that we wish we could just go back to the ignorance. But it's important to remember that your bridge is still building. The universe is still unfolding for you. And we realize the most powerful concept of all. Instead of focusing on the ending and making things happen, we realize we're meant to become the version of ourselves who has it. And that's how manifestation works. And that's where we enter stage 4. Stage 4 is mastery and elevation. Mastery and elevation is where the magic happens. We don't force affirmations anymore. We say them when they feel good, and we say them naturally. They're naturally ingrained in our heads. We don't spiral when things go wrong. We don't even ask, how do I manifest this anymore? Because we know that it's done. You have stepped into your elevated self, and you still have your human emotions, and you still get triggered, but you don't fall for it because you know how to correct it. No, that's not my story anymore. I know who I am. I know it's already mine. Our goal is to become so strong and so sure of ourselves that we can just live happily day to day. And when we come across an unfavorable circumstance or anything that triggers a new desire, we can correct it on the spot and get something on the spot with one statement. Affirm and persist who? Because at this level, you are the affirmation. You're already the version of you who has everything. And everything else is just catching up. That's the state of effortless manifestation. It's not a high. It's not feeling like God. And it's not control. It's not trying to manipulate outcomes. It's not saying, I did this that time, so I got to do this again to get something else. It's not saying, well, I'm God, so I command it. It's not saying, I've just had enough. I've got to have enough, and then I'll get it. It is certainty and peace and knowing. So if you are in stage 1, 2, or 3, do not rush it. Experience it all because you are meant to. It is part of the journey. And life is all about the journey. And then when those conscious manifestations just start rolling in, you will look back and realize it all made sense. The breakthrough is so clear now. even though I can remember that in that past moment it felt like a breakdown. But now you know better, and you know that you are the version of yourself who always gets your desires. If this helped you, make sure to give it a like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And I will see you guys in a future video. Okay, bye.